beer, an alcoholic beverage known over the entire world. But without the help of some friendly microorganisms, the production of beer wouldn't be possible. These tiny creatures are called yeast.
But which products can we make from yeast except alcohol?
Yeast isn't only used in beer or alcoholic drinks, but in much more. For example, it's used in biofuel, chocolate, bread, and coffee. Maybe the most known use of yeast is in bread. It causes the bread to rise. This happens because of the yeast that turns glucose into carbon dioxide and ethanol. It's the carbon dioxide that rises the bread. There's a need of glucose, therefore there is starch in bread. Temperature has an important role in the ability of yeast turning glucose into carbon dioxide and ethanol. The process starts at 1 degree Celsius and the yeast cell dies if it's 50 degrees Celsius or more. The second use of yeast in other products is in chocolate. It plays a big role in the fermentation of the beans into chocolate. It's responsible for the physiochemical changes in the pulp and inside the beans. Their main activity is the metabolism of the pulp sugars to produce ethanol. They're also involved in the secondary metabolites. Ethanol encourages the growth of acid bacteria. Both ethanol and acid bacteria have a key role in killing the beans, which triggers a reaction that gives chocolate its character. Many of the secondary metabolites produced by yeast have an influence on the flavor. The third use of yeast is in coffee. It plays a big role in the fermentation of the coffee beans.
What else can we use it for, except for making food?
The yeast that is used to make bioethanol is the same yeast used to make alcoholic drinks. Bioethanol is a renewable energy source that we're going to need of more in the future because it's going to replace petroleum. Bioethanol can be used to power cars, ships and planes. Its production is one of the most sustainable and climate-friendly technologies to produce fuel. Bioethanol is produced out of waste, excess of crops or wood.
What has yeast to do with the production of beer?
In Belgium, there are many types of high fermentation beers, each with a different color, taste, aroma. But how are these high fermentation beers produced? It all starts with choosing a yeast strain from the family of the high yeast, the Saccharomyces cerevisiae. These are active with a temperature between 15 and 25 degrees.
In this family there are two subfamilies, namely the non-phenological and the phenological. The non-phenological are yeast give the phenological smoked flavor. In phenological, this is different. This gives the flavor and provides observable fruitness. After the yeast strain is selected, the main fermentation can begin. This fermentation takes 5 to 7 days. After this, the apple fragrance is combined with the butter smell, removed by allowing it to undergo a bearing warm at about 20 degrees. Then, the brew is brought to a temperature of 0 degrees. This allows for the refinement of taste because the cold causes the yeast will precipitate. For storage, beers will follow a step, namely the bottle fermentation. This Belgian specialty is done by adding to the drain bottle a little extra sugar and yeast to the beer. This keeps the beer its bitter taste.
And last but not least, how does yeast look like on a microscopic level? Yeast are mostly single-celled organisms that belong to the fungus kingdom. They consist of a nucleus, a vacuole, mitochondrion, cytoplasm, a cell membrane and a cell wall.
Yeast are well known for the process they execute, converting sugar into alcohol, as part of the production process of beer, wine or bread. Yeast can be found everywhere in nature, and most of them are very small.
The fermentation process of, for example, beer, yeast converts sugar into alcohol and carbon dioxide. In chemical terms, yeast converts glucose, or C6H12O6, into ethanol, or C2H5OH, and carbon dioxide, or CO2.